Welcome to First Take. Amina Smith in for Molly. We got Adam Schefter, Dan Orlovsky, and of course, we got Stephen A. Smith here as well. Plenty to talk about today around the NFL as the preseason kind of winds down. Stephen A., how are we doing out there?
How you doing? How's everything going?
Everything is going good. I'm fine. I got my guys here.
Welcome to the show. Congratulations, your first time hosting the show. Really, really appreciate it. Way to go. I'm expecting big things. I see big things on SportsCenter, but damn it, this is First Take. I expect the level to be the same, if not better.
Hold on. Before we go anywhere, Stephen A., America wants to know.
Is that a tooth?
What the hell just came out of your mouth?
A mint?
It was one of my protein. It was one of my protein tablets.
Oh, he's having breakfast.
I had it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's
Wait,
what it is. I got it right here.
tablet?
It's not my tooth. I can assure you that I have my tooth.
I thought it was a golden tooth or something that popped out.
No. I don't know. Listen, at the rate Dan Orlovsky is going, he's probably going to be the one rocking a gold tooth in a little bit. I'm just saying.
Why do you
I'm just saying.
I was just going to say, honestly, that suit looks awesome. That suit looks fantastic. But then
you know what I want to say about that? You know what I want to say about that, Dan? Somebody that I know that we'll get into later eclipsed the 40-year mark plateau without telling us, had us walking around here thinking he's less than 30, less than 40, when in fact he's well over 40. We'll get into that later. But speaking on behalf of the 50-plus-year-olds out here, 50 is the new 30, baby.
Oh, 50 is the new 30. Look, I'm in my 30s, so I guess 30 is the new 20s.
Yeah,
and I guess we're all going back. All right.
Ain't nobody on this set looking better than you, Amina. You ain't got to worry about that. None of us got to pray on that.
You know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to the NFL, where the Browns QB room continues to be a hot topic. The third-round pick, Dillon Gabriel, got to start in preseason game number 2 against the Eagles over the weekend and experienced his own ups and downs. Shedeur Sanders was sidelined with an oblique injury, while Joe Flacco didn't suit up as the Browns appear to be resting their vet. We've gotten a peek so far at both rookie QBs for the Browns this preseason. In week 1, Shedeur Sanders passed for 138 yards against the Panthers for 2 touchdowns, whereas Dillon Gabriel passed for 143 yards with an interception against the Eagles in week 2. Stephen A., I want to come to you first. When you take a look at both of these QBs, who had the most impressive start so far in the preseason?
Well, to me, it was Shedeur. I didn't see any interceptions when he was out there. I didn't see anything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think Dillon Gabriel did a bad job. I was impressed with the brother. But I'm going to go with Shedeur. You know, the pressure was on him. The spotlight was on him. He showed up out on the field. You know, he played better than expected, reminded everybody who he is and what he brings to the table. I liked it. You know, but that's not to throw any shade on Dillon Gabriel. He came out there, had a couple of mishaps, what have you. But ultimately, he played well, and I give him credit where credit is due. But watching Shedeur move the offense or whatever, I thought that his performance was slightly better than Dillon Gabriel. That's just me, guys.
Yeah, I thought Gabriel's tape was better. Shedeur's was really good last week. We talked about it, very impressive. But I thought Gabriel's tape was better. And I think if you ask me, the reason why would be just through some, elite ball placement throws versus really, really tight coverage. There wasn't a ton given to him. And so, the efficiency with how he moved, the decision-making, some of the ball placement, and how tight some of the hip-to-hip coverage was, I just was very impressed. The under-center play-action passing stuff was big time. Some of the stuff that he didn't do in college, he did at the NFL, the manipulation of the defenses. And so I'd push back on the interception thing. I know the interception got a lot of play over the weekend. At the end of the day, the quarterback is the person who has the ball with the final decision. No question. This interception happens a lot because of the lack of spacing. I think the poor decision by the flat route runner kind of messes with the quarterback. So I really don't put that. He pulls his arms back right as the ball's passing him. So this is a lack of communication, but I don't put this on the quarterback as oh my gosh, I don't. The fumble I'm going to give to you. The fumble I do believe is Dillon Gabriel's. That's a very easy thing to fix with his footwork. But that doesn't make me think that Gabriel played worse than Shedeur.
I'm sorry, Adam Schefter. I mean, stop the presses. See, Adam Schefter, there's moments like this, and Amina, welcome to the show again. This is moments like this where I got to remind everybody of who Dan Orlovsky is. And I want to just state I just want to state this before I say anything else. I love you, my brother. You know I do. I love you to death. You know what I'm saying? I can't deny it.
Come on.
I miss you when you're gone. I love you when you're here. You know how I feel about you. Even with that damn 1980s crew cut. The point is I love you to death. But here's the thing. And the Elvis, I get it. But here's the thing. Only Dan Orlovsky would sit up there. Now correct me if I'm wrong, Adam Schefter, the great insider, the ultimate one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Dan Orlovsky just bring up what the man did last year in college? Because, see, I didn't bring up Shedeur and the 72% completions. I didn't bring up Shedeur and those touchdowns, 30-plus touchdowns. I didn't bring none of that up, okay? But here you are bringing up something when we're talking about him and what he looked like in the NFL in this preseason game. That was a pick six and a fumble. Now, the Dan Orlovsky I know that I have so much love and affection for, I must say. Now, by the way, you know what? Still needs to thank me a little bit more for that restaurant I treated him and his family to because it was big time. And stop embarrassing me by going places and trying to use coupons. That's how pathetic he is. The point is that, a pick six and a fumble is usually considered a bad day at the office for a quarterback. But only Dan Orlovsky would sit up here in comparison to Shedeur Sanders, who did no such thing, and say, hey, I thought he looked better. I got to give him the edge here. I thought it wasn't bad. A pick six and a fumble, and we can get over fumbles. Have you heard anybody say that? I know it's possible. Have you ever heard anybody say, we can get over fumbles?
First of all, it's Dan Orlovsky's 42nd birthday today. So we'd like you to be
a
little bit of kind, a little kind to him today on his 42nd
I want you to be meaner.
Birthday. That's number one. Number two, after the game, the Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski said there was a mix-up in the routes and that players were in the areas that they shouldn't have been.
Look at Stephen A's face. Look at Stephen A's face. Look at his face.
Stephen A.
Get your breakfast so that's what we're doing now?
Yeah, get your tablet back. Get your protein pill back.
Listen, you know what? I got it right here. I'm getting ready to put it back in a minute. But here's the deal, y'all. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The coach, I applaud Stefanski for being honest about it. I get that part. I ain't sweating it, y'all. And I'm not trying to act like it wasn't true. But you're the quarterback. You see the damn area is crowded. You see it ain't what, you see it's an issue over there that there's the potential for an interception. You could have thrown the ball away. You could have done that. We would have said that about. And again, Dillon Gabriel, I hope he's watching. I'm not throwing any shade on the brother. The brother can play. I wish him nothing but the best. Even though I'm a Shedeur Sanders fan, I'm rooting for both of them to make it in the NFL. Please don't get me wrong. This is just one game. It's preseason. I'm just saying, for the purposes of you two, you, Adam Schefter and Dan Orlovsky, here's the deal. A pick six should not have been thrown, and the fumble, even though it does happen, we certainly don't just shove it aside and act like it was no big deal with anybody else. Now, Dan Orlovsky, I will acknowledge this, Adam Schefter. We are talking about a dude that is partial. I mean, if there is a silver lining to discover about a quarterback, to all the quarterbacks in college, in pros, damn it, in prep, if there is an explanation to assuage concerns about you at the quarterback position, Dan Orlovsky will find it. I mean, this brother doesn't have objectivity when it comes to a quarterback.
Yes, I do.
I mean, when it comes to quarterback, oh, my Lord. This dude.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute.
My God.
Yes, I do.
Ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
yes, I do.
It's the truth, Dan.
You want to make fun of Dan's dining habits? You want to make fun of his food taste? You want to make fun of his hair? You want to make fun of his wardrobe? All that's fair game. But do not question that man's objectivity. Do not question that man's objectivity.
Yes.
Adam.
With me today.
Adam. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got to pull up first here because you see, if there is someone close to flawless in television, it is Adam Schefter. You don't see anybody coming after him because it would just be to your own peril. Okay, it was just a mistake. But I got him right now. Are you saying on national television with that beautiful smile on your face, you understand what I'm saying, that Mr. Non-Confrontational, one of the kindest individuals on the planet, are you saying with a straight face that every time Dan Orlovsky opens his mouth, that he is objective about quarterbacks? Is that what you just said?
I believe Dan is objective. He's speaking his mind about quarterbacks. Listen, he is much better at evaluating quarterbacks than he is playing quarterbacks.
Oh, well, Dan, wait a minute. You can't catch
That's
a break.
true. That's 100% true.
You can't catch a break.
I'm telling you all the areas. If you want to get on Dan,
that's 100%
there are
true.
so many areas we could get on him about. But
Adam,
objective?
Adam just told on himself. America, Adam Schefter has been, I'm hurt. I am hurt this morning because let me tell you something. Adam Schefter is so busy breaking news all the damn time that clearly it happens after 10 o'clock. Because from 8 to 10, that brother's on TV. We are very fortunate to have him at 10 o'clock here because the man is busy. Because I can get clips of Dan Orlovsky talking about quarterbacks. I got news for you, my brother. I got loads of evidence of this brother being fucking. I mean, I could call Dan Orlovsky Gandhi when it comes to quarterbacks. Gandhi. That's how nice he is.
Was Gandhi objective?
Stephen A., I believe I am objective. It's just that some of us are entertainers and some of us are competitors.
Oh, you know what? That's a good one. See, this is how I know you do really well on TV because that's a great segue. Thanks so much. During the game, Dillon Gabriel, he was asked about quieting the noise around the QB battle in Cleveland. Here was his response. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, I think it's just part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors. And I totally understand that. And my job is to compete. And that's what I'm focused on doing.
And after social media ran with the quote insinuating that Gabriel was alluding to his fellow quarterback in Shedeur Sanders, Gabriel was asked about the quote post-game and clarified his comments.
Yeah, first off, I'm all about our team. You know what I mean? And each other. I would never make that. And I've said it before. That's why it's interesting. But for me, I've explained it. Entertainers are you all, competitor. That's what I am and all my teammates. And we both have jobs to do. So that's it.
All right, our front office insider Mike Tannenbaum here joining the party. Mike T, you heard Dillon Gabriel right there. What was your reaction to the comments?
Amina, I was surprised and disappointed. Dillon Gabriel really comported himself really well while he was in college. Those comments really fell short on a number of levels. Look, as a GM, I would sit down and say, hey, your only job is to get better as a rookie quarterback. Worry about yourself and compliment your teammates, compliment your coaches. You shouldn't be talking about a teammate or the media, which he tried to clean up afterwards. So he's just trying to make the team. He had a pretty good start despite 2 turnovers. So that to me was a little bit out of character, and that was really unacceptable. I'm glad he tried to change things afterwards, but I'd be surprised if we heard him say anything close to that moving forward.
Yeah, Stephen A., it got really messy on social media. People just assuming that Dillon Gabriel was talking about Shedeur Sanders. What was your reaction?
I never believed he was talking about Shedeur Sanders. I totally believed him when he said he was talking about the media. I want to get that out the way first. I don't think he was talking about Shedeur Sanders as well. I think when you heard the comparisons were emanating from the media more so than anybody else. And that's what I think, that's exactly who I think he was directing his comments towards. Having said that, Dillon Gabriel, respectfully, it was stupid, a very dumb comment to make. First of all, let me tell you something right now. In every walk of life, far beyond the parameters of a football field, people are competing. We compete here on television. You compete with radio shows. You compete on Wall Street. You compete on Madison Avenue. Everything, especially in America, as it pertains to a capitalistic society, involves competition. To the victor goes the spoils. There are people that are, Jimmy Johnson said it best. He said, I will be very, very consistent in treating you as inconsistently as possible. Those who produce get treated differently than those who don't. What he said echoes the mentality of all of America practically, and most certainly the world, as we see things being globalized more and more every day. It was a stupid, idiotic, immature comment because clearly you were feeling the heat because a lot of people was talking about how Shedeur should be QB number 2. But I know he was not talking about Shedeur Sanders. He was talking about the media. Here's the problem. You've now heightened the level of scrutiny coming your way because the media, including myself, heard what you said. So in other words, it's entertainment. It's not competition, really. So when you go out there and you compete like trash, because you will have days when you look like that, we're going to remember those comments. And we're going to remember the shot that you took at the fourth estate, which is the media institution. Whether we like to or not, some of us will be kind, like myself, because we don't want to do that to you. Others will be merciless. But in the end, no one will be wrong, because who instigated that fury against you? It would be you. Very, very idiotic and stupid for you to say what you said.
I don't know Dillon Gabriel, so I'm going to take him at his word. I have no reason to doubt or think that he's making up an excuse for it now. But the most important part of this, or the most important people who their thoughts or what their thoughts are, or Shedeur, one, and then the guys in the locker room, two, because they may not believe it. So does Dillon go to Shedeur? Do they have a conversation about it? Does he feel like he needs to address it with Shedeur man to man and say, this wasn't about you? Does Shedeur believe him? Does Shedeur think that he's taking a shot at him? Because at the end, we, and any little thing can fracture it. And coming off of last week's performance, and at least by a lot of reports, Shedeur's got a lot of support in that locker room. Guys have gravitated towards him by reports. And so are people upset about it? Do guys in the locker room, does it now fracture a little bit? And this is the challenge for Kevin Stefanski. Does he address it? Yeah. Is it those people's thoughts are what matter the most right now when it comes to Gabriel's comments. I don't know the young man, so I'm going to take him at his word that he wasn't taking a shot. That doesn't mean everybody's going to view it that way.
Yeah, Mike T, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you're Kevin Stefanski, do you address the situation because of how it's blown up over the weekend?
I mean, absolutely. You have to be, solve these problems. And again, you're talking about two rookie quarterbacks here. They have to earn their way onto the roster, but that's totally unacceptable. Again, like when you're a rookie, it's all about, hey, I'm just happy to be here. I want to get coached. I want to get developed. The fact that even if he is, to Stephen A's point, calling out the media, what are you doing? You're a third-round pick. There's 4 quarterbacks. 99% of the league is going to keep 3. And by the way, if you get cut, your audience, when you speak, is the 31 other decision makers, and it's a way for you to let people know how good you are, what a great teammate you are. So again, it could be, detrimental to him on a few different levels.
It was a mistake. He wasn't talking about Shedeur Sanders. He came out right after the press conference or after that interview and clarified what he meant. Okay, so you're taking a shot at the media. Okay, fine. You're saying he could get cut, or if he were to get cut. The Browns are going to keep, I believe, 4 quarterbacks. So they're going to hold on to all of them. Dillon Gabriel is going to have a job in Cleveland. He's going to have a job in the NFL. But this is, again, a reflection of the tough spot that both quarterbacks are in. When 2 rookies come in, you're competing for your jobs all the time. Now you're competing against a fellow rookie. You're pitted up against each other. We could think of, as it came up this morning, the situation between, at one point in time, RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Sure.
There's a natural competition in that room on top of all the other competition that creates a semi-awkward situation where it's not great for either guy. They're both playing well. That's the ultimate goal. The Browns come out ahead there. Yeah. There's just not enough room for everybody, especially for a team with 2 first-round draft picks in 26.
I think the other part, Adam, that and I appreciate where you're coming from, but I think the part that can't be ignored is the Shedeur Sanders element in terms of what would people have thought had he made that comment? We would, there's a mass audience out there who would have embraced it differently. And so even though I don't believe he was talking about Shedeur Sanders, Dan Orlovsky is taking him at his word. You echoed what his sentiments were, as obviously you believe him and what have you. It doesn't escape the fact that it invites just a level of scrutiny that can't be avoided. Had that been Shedeur Sanders who made that exact comment, it would have been taken completely differently. How much of a benefit of a doubt would he have gotten that he wasn't talking about Dillon Gabriel? How much would he have been excoriated for talking about the media that way? And so because of that, now you're going to look at people and they're going to say, okay, well, it wasn't him. He's the dude that went out there and played very, very well in his preseason debut. This guy, Dillon Gabriel, he still had good moments in third down, 6 for 6. Completing his passes was impressive, had composure in the pocket, et cetera, et cetera. There was a lot of good things to say about Dillon Gabriel. But he threw shade on his own performance by showing he was paying attention to stuff he need not pay attention to. And yes, he's young, and yes, he should be forgiven, and yes, he'll overcome it if he has the skills to do so. But I assure you, folks are not going to forget, particularly the media, how he came at it if he struggles even a little bit. Because what did he say? We know nothing about competition. It's about entertainment. Competition doesn't just take place on the court or field of play. It takes place up here, too, in a variety of industries. Go talk to Wall Street. Go talk to all of these Fortune 500 companies. Don't talk to media and what have you. There's competition all over the place. It ain't just on the damn football field. It was a very ignorant comment for him to make.
Yeah, it is something that Dillon Gabriel did say that he has said before when he was in college. However, probably just not the right time for him to say it.